Today we are taking a look at Maomao from the Apothecary Diaries. This is the street walk version figure by Banpresto. The Apothecary Diaries is a mystery series built around palace life, medicine, and incidents that are gradually unraveled through careful observation. Within that story, Maomao is the central heroine, known for her sharp eye, practical personality, and calm way of dealing with unusual situations. That mix of intelligence, curiosity, and composure gives her a very distinct presence in the series. Today's highlights for this figure are the soft, smiling expression, the detail in the floral hair ornament, and the pose that captures the instant she turns back while walking. The first highlight is the expression. The mouth opens only slightly, with the upper line lifting gently enough to show a small area of white inside, so the face reads as a soft smile rather than a broad grin. That feeling is reinforced by the large blue-violet eyes and the upward angle of the face, which keep the expression light and open. The second highlight is the hair ornament detail. The braided section at the side of the head is overlaid with a vertical arrangement of pale pink flowers and red flowers with yellow centers, and below that, a looped section of hair is accented with red and blue beads. Because the braid, flowers, hair loop, and beads are all separated clearly, that area becomes one of the most layered and eye-catching parts of the figure. The third highlight is the pose. What makes this pose especially effective is that it feels like it captures the instant Maomao turns back toward the viewer while walking. The head and upper body angle back toward the front, while the hair, the long red sash, and the spreading hem continue to flow through the figure and keep that sense of movement alive. Because of that, the figure does not read as a simple standing pose. It feels more like a brief moment caught in motion. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The head is built around an upward-turned face that angles slightly away from the front, and that positioning lets the cheek, jawline, and chin connect in one smooth surface before the expression settles at the mouth. The eyes are large and open, with a clean, dark upper line and blue-violet color placed inside in a way that keeps the gaze clear even from a turned angle. Small highlights sit low in the eyes, so the face keeps its focus without looking overly sharp. The mouth opens in a shallow horizontal shape, and only the upper line lifts gently, which allows a small area of white to show and creates a smile that feels soft rather than exaggerated. The bangs are divided into short sections across the forehead, with the central pieces kept shorter and the outer pieces dropping farther down across the upper face. Above them, a short strand rises at the top and adds a small upward accent before the rest of the hair flows back. Along the side of the head, a thick braided section follows the round shape of the skull clearly enough that each overlap can be read. Over that braid sits the main decorative area. Pale pink flowers and red flowers with yellow centers arranged vertically and fitted closely against the hair. Below the flowers, a section of her own hair curves into a loop, and red and blue beads are attached along that curve. From farther back, the hair gathers and then opens outward in a broad sweep, with the ends dividing into fine sections that lift away from the back and give the whole upper silhouette more width and flow. The upper body begins with a wide opening at the neck and chest, where a red band runs horizontally across the upper front and creates the first strong boundary in the outfit. Along the upper edge of that band is a narrow raised trim made of bead-like forms, adding another readable layer where the exposed upper area changes into the dress itself. From inside that opening, thin shoulder straps rise toward the shoulders and remain clearly separated from the white main body. Below the red chest band, two long, narrow fabric sections fall straight down the front, sitting over the white dress as separate layers and breaking the torso into more than one surface. The torso stays long and fairly straight through the middle, but it is not shown in a fully frontal way. It turns slightly with the head, so the chest band, straps, and hanging front sections all shift subtly in direction instead of lining up rigidly. Around the shoulders, a red outer cloth passes across the back and drops down along both sides, overlapping the outside of the white sleeves. It does not cling tightly to the arms, so the red and white layers remain clearly distinct. The sleeves continue down the arms in a simple straight form, and the cuffs widen into open tube-like ends with enough opening for the inner side to remain visible. The hands spread outward rather than staying close to the body. One is placed farther forward, with the fingertips lifted lightly, while the other reaches back. That difference helps widen the upper span and supports the sense that the torso has turned in the middle of movement. From the waist downward, the white central body continues without being broken into smaller sections, and as it approaches the hem, it shifts gradually into a pale pink tone that helps the lower half open outward more softly. The hem does not spread in a perfectly even circle. Instead, it forms broad waves that push outward in some places and pull inward in others, so the lower outline breaks into alternating rises and recesses rather than one smooth curve. That uneven spread gives the dress much of its movement, especially because the pattern of those waves changes from front to back. At the front opening of the skirt, a black shoe sole becomes visible, and from the rear, another black sole surface can also be seen from a different angle, which helps connect the bent position of one leg to the shifting shape of the hem. A long red sash curves forward around the lower body, and after passing the waist, it opens into a larger arc before dropping toward the front of the skirt. That line keeps the movement established higher up from stopping at the torso, and instead pulls the eye down into the lower half. One leg is drawn up inside the dress, with the visible sole indicating where the knee has folded within the skirt volume. The other leg remains much less directly exposed, so the lower silhouette is shaped more by the waves of the dress than by clearly separated leg lines. From underneath, the front hem thins out and opens enough to create visible interior space, while the rear rises higher around the bent leg before falling again into the outer waves. This figure is approximately 23 centimeters tall. That's about 9.1 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Maomao by Banpresto stands out because this figure combines a soft, smiling expression, a braided hairstyle with a floral ornament, and a turned pose that carries movement across the whole piece. The face leaves a gentle first impression. The large blue-violet eyes keep their focus clearly even from the angled position, while the slightly open mouth and the small area of visible white inside create a smile that feels light rather than exaggerated. That expression is then supported by the hair. The bangs are divided into short front sections. A short strand rises at the top, and the braid along the side of the head follows the round shape of the head in thick, readable sections. Over that braid, the floral ornament becomes one of the strongest visual points, with pale pink flowers, red flowers with yellow centers, and a looped section of hair accented by red and blue beads. Behind that, the rear hair opens outward and separates into finer ends, which helps the upper silhouette feel broader and more active. The upper body works well because the outfit layout and the turned pose support each other closely. The red band across the chest creates a strong horizontal break. The narrow trim along its upper edge sharpens that boundary, and the thin straps and long front hanging sections add vertical lines over the white central body. Around the shoulders, the red outer cloth passes across the back and falls over the outside of the white sleeves, so the layering stays easy to read without feeling crowded. The lower body continues that same effect. The dress shifts into pale pink toward the hem, the skirt opens into wide uneven waves, and the bent leg is suggested through the visible black sole. The long red sash then curves forward and adds another strong directional line through the lower half. What makes the figure especially effective is the way all of those elements connect into one clear flow. The eye moves from the blue-violet eyes to the smiling mouth, from the face into the braid and floral ornament, then down through the red chest band and the trailing red cloth before reaching the spreading hem and the curved sash. Because of that, fans of the Apothecary Diaries or Maomao should find this piece very appealing. Collectors who enjoy soft expressions, floral hair ornament details, and figures that capture the instant of turning back while walking should find it a very satisfying addition. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.